How's it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here to give you your daily stimulus check and unemployment benefits updates and latest information. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube, which is what I try to provide here on this channel.
Today is an incredibly busy as well as very important day, as the president will be out a little bit later addressing Congress and us, the American people, with his first State of the Union address. Now, in this address, we will need to listen very closely to see what the president as well as Congress is going to be doing going forward to help out struggling Americans right now when it comes to all this massive inflation, what's going around this country right now, as well as what's going on globally around the entire world. Wow, I mean seriously, the timing for his State of the Union address is certainly very interesting timing, because there is a lot going on globally right now that has just started a few days ago. So it'll be a very interesting State of the Union address. The president will be on the platform and the world will be watching every word that the president mentions a little bit later today. However, I do want to talk about a little bit as far as what we do know as far as right now, as far as what the president will be discussing in relation to what that information came out yesterday. And I also want to talk about what we need to watch for going forward in that speech a little bit later today. All right, so first off, yesterday we did have some information released as far as what the president will be calling on Congress to do. Again, this is just a general outline. We don't know the exact words he's going to use tonight and what he's actually going to be calling on Congress to do specifically. However, this information is a general outline, so let me give you that information right here. So we do know, based on the information that was released yesterday, the president will be calling on Congress to send him legislation to lower the cost of living and prices for Americans through these pieces of legislation. We do know that he's going to be calling on Congress to send him legislation to lower prescription prices, to lower healthcare costs, to lower childcare costs, to reinstate monthly checks for families. We do know this stuff. We also do know that the president will be calling on Congress to send him legislation to lower utility costs. However, this is what we do know as of right now. But what else may the president be calling on right now? Now, here's the thing as well. We know right now, Congress has recognized this. Many very influential figures within Congress. The president has mentioned it. The press secretary has mentioned it. Nancy Pelosi has mentioned it. Chuck Schumer, as well as Bernie Sanders. Now, these are some very influential people, right? A lot of times when any types of legislation get done, you can usually point to any of these people, of course, with the exception of the press secretary. She doesn't have any say in Congress, but rather she just informs us each and every day of what's actually going on behind the scenes. But my point is, some very influential figures when it comes to the legislation that actually goes through Congress. They recognize the low income, the fixed income, and Americans in general right now are really struggling because of the inflation. Now, here's the deal. We've talked about this many times before in previous videos. Going forward, if there happens to be a fourth stimulus check, it is not going to be a widespread check. It would likely be a highly focused check for the low income and the fixed income going forward. Now, here's the thing. When we listen to the president speak tonight, we will need to watch and listen very closely. Now, here's why. So I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but I want to lay this out one more time here. Now, here's the thing. I've mentioned this before, and again, I'm sticking to it. If there happens to be a fourth stimulus check, again, I do think it's going to be highly focused on the low income and the fixed income, including seniors, people with disabilities, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, as well as just low income people who may not be receiving any of these benefits. If there happens to be one, I do think it'll be highly focused on these groups. Next, if there happens to be a fourth stimulus check, I highly doubt it is going to be called a stimulus check. Here's what I think it's going to be called. Something along the lines of a relief payment, something along the lines of maybe like a support payment, maybe something along the lines of an anti-inflationary check, something along these lines. If there is a fourth stimulus check, I highly doubt they're going to call it a stimulus check. Now, here's why. Let me take just a second and explain this. In 2020 and 2021, the economy was not doing that great. They sent out stimulus checks, which were formerly called Economic Impact Payments, EIP, Economic Impact Payments. That was the official name that they were called. Why? Because they were economically impactful, right? They wanted us to take the money and go out and spend it to stimulate the economy, impact the economy. That's why they were sent out. Yes, they wanted to help us, the American people, a little bit, but realistically, it wasn't about that. It was about stimulating the economy. That was the real reason behind the stimulus checks. That's what was really why they sent the checks out. They wanted us to spend that money. So, a lot of the pushback that a lot of people were having is that some of the people who didn't need the stimulus checks were actually saving them, and they were saying, this is counterproductive. We don't want you to save it. Go out and spend it. So my point is, the first 3 checks that we received were economic impact payments. These were to stimulate the economy. The economy's doing fine. According to the reports and everything that we're seeing right now, the economy is fine. It's pretty much reopened for the most part. So that's why I'm saying, my point is behind all of this. If there happens to be a 4th stimulus check, I highly doubt it's going to be called a stimulus check. That's why we've got to listen to what the president says later today very, very closely. Because I think a lot of us are conditioned to think and listen for the words stimulus check. However, he could potentially announce something. Again, I'm not saying that he's going to. I have no clue what the president is going to say tonight. I'm not in his inner circle. I don't know what is going to be on his script. Things like this. I don't know what he's going to say. I wish I was a mind reader. I wish I had a crystal ball, but I don't. But my point is, we've got to listen very closely, because if the president happens to come out and mention anything in the form of a relief payment, monthly checks, or adult tax credit, or anti-inflationary check, or some type of relief check, or support check, or relief payment, I mean, honestly, there are 1,000 different combinations of words that could be used to actually indicate some type of stimulus payment. So that is what we've got to watch for very, very closely. Now, I also understand that some people may not actually listen to the president tonight. That's totally fine. You don't need to. I'll be listening very, very closely. In fact, I will probably listen to the speech a few times just to make sure that I'm hearing everything loud and clear and that I'm completely understanding everything that is being said. I will take that information that I learned from the speech later today. I'll bring it to you in a short, condensed video and let you know what I find out from the president later tonight. So, he'll be out this evening speaking to Congress as well as us, the American people, with the State of Union address. And again, we'll have to listen to everything very, very closely. Again, I just want to make it very clear. No promises at all. I have no clue what the president is going to say. I'm just going off of what was released yesterday as far as some of these officials released yesterday as far as the script is going to be. A little bit of it anyway. We have no clue. Again, they only gave us very limited information. But we do know that the president will be distinctly calling on Congress to send him legislation to lower the cost of living, to lower prices for Americans, to help out struggling Americans. We do know this. We also do know, according to what I found yesterday and what I announced in the video yesterday, there's going to be a call specifically for legislation to help out seniors, the elderly, and people with disabilities. Again, what's it going to be? I don't know. I don't know the details on that, but they did say in the release yesterday, there will be a specific call for some kind of legislation to help out seniors, the elderly, and people with disabilities. Again, I'm very intrigued. I want to know more as far as what the president is going to call on Congress as far as the legislation to get assistance and or help or whatever it is that he calls on for these groups, because we do know who receives Social Security or fixed income benefits. Yeah, seniors, the elderly, people with disabilities, right? Therefore, this could encompass a lot of fixed income beneficiaries, Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, all of these individuals. Again, do we know what it's going to be? Not quite yet. Only time will tell, and that will be released to us a little bit later today. Could it be good? It could be good. Could it be bad? Well, I have no clue. It could be good or bad. We don't have any clue. My point is, we've got to listen to this very, very closely. But whether you watch the president speak later today for the State of the Union address or not, I will do that for you. I will watch it. Like I said, I will watch it at least 2 times, probably even more than that, because it is my duty to do the research. It is my job here to bring you the information accurately and to bring it to you in the shortest amount of time possible in these short videos. So again, I will watch that information very closely for you. I'll distill it down into a video and I will deliver that to you a little bit later today after the president speaks. But I'm very, very curious to see what the president is going to be saying, considering the current landscape here in the United States, as well as what has transpired here globally over the last few days. I think we all know what I'm talking about. Again, I don't want to go into details in this video. Honestly, I just don't want to go down that road right now. I mean, seriously, it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to go down that road right now. We can talk about that in a separate video, but seriously, there's a lot going on right now. Like I said, the president is on the world stage tonight. Literally, everybody will be listening to the president. I mean, not everybody in the whole world, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying. The world as a whole will be listening to the president, and what he says is going to be big. I mean, seriously, not really sure what it's going to be. I'm not sure how far encompassing it's going to be, but my point is, whatever he says tonight is going to be very impactful for a lot of people.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A like and a comment are always appreciated. Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends and family, because I'm sure they would also like the most up-to-date information on their stimulus checks and unemployment benefits available anywhere on YouTube. Have a good